Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hardcore Season 2. In today's episode, we are going to be taking care of the situation of our low iron because we currently have a stack and a half, but that is only because I've gone on a little bit of a mining trip to get some iron. That way, we would be able to build a decent-sized iron farm in today's episode. And this is not just going to be no normal iron farm, we are going to be making a double iron farm to get twice the amount of iron. And this isn't just going to be sitting out in the middle of nowhere, we are going to be putting it inside of this hill right here. And actually there looks to be, there is a little bit of a cave here, but we're going to have an entrance about right here that is going to be leading inside of the mountain and over to where the actual iron farm is going to be. So the first thing that we have to do is clear out some trees. All right, cleared out some trees, and now we can get started at least on the entrance. And I was thinking we actually put the entrance up on top of this a little bit, except the only thing I want to do is just lower this down a little bit first. All right, got that part shaven down. And so now we just need to get ourselves a path coming right through and up to that section. And then we can start working on the entrance. All right, there we go. We now have ourselves a path that leads from our area all the way over to this new section. And don't worry, we are definitely going to be having some trees out through this section as well. So there's no need to worry about this place looking bare. I just took down the trees. That way we can come through here and do all the terraforming that we need to do to get this done. Once we are all set, that is when we are going to be coming through to go ahead and add in the trees. But now we need to start working on the entrance. All right, went ahead and got a whole bunch of materials. So now let's just go ahead and just crack away and get ourselves going with a little bit of an entrance here. Let's go ahead. We're gonna do it one away from the wall. That way it can easily be terraformed around it and we don't need to push back this wall at all. So I'm thinking we do probably a 5 wide entrance here. So let's go ahead, do something like that. We'll bring this up by that. And then of course we have to strip this down as well, just to make it look a little bit better. And then of course, somehow, some way we are going to need to have some deep slate worked into this. So let's just go ahead and do something like this probably, where we just bring this going up and around just like that. And then I also did grab some polished deep slate here, so that way we can make this act like a little bit of a door. And this door is going to be like just barely open as well, so nothing should be able to pathfind its way into here. It'd be very difficult because it's going to have to like do one of these types of things. Now we just need to get the very top on it, but first we gotta sleep. All right, so now before we do anything, let's just go ahead and do a little bit of terraforming just so we can make our way up here. I'm thinking we are just going to take some spruce planks, if I could just get them, and we are just going to be taking this all the way back to the wall here, or to the side here, and then we're just going to take the planks and bring it all across. And of course we are going to need something else as well, so let's go ahead, craft ourselves up a crafting table so we can get ourselves some stairs, and then we will go ahead and start to layer in our door frame, which of course is going to be made out of trapdoors because I really like trapdoors. And then we will also do one of these as well. And then as of for right here, we can go ahead and layer in a bit more of the spruce. I'm not very sure if I actually like that, so let's just go ahead and let's try putting in some stripped spruce log. Let's see if that looks a little bit better. And yeah, I actually like that a little bit more. So now we just need to go ahead and finish off the terraforming around this area. All right, so I've now dug out this room here. I've also collected a whole bunch of materials doing it. And that is a little bit more materials because I have also come down here and started working on digging out the area for which the iron farm is going to be. I did all of this on a recording, but unfortunately it corrupted. So did a replay file. So like the actual OBS recording and a replay file got corrupted. So I don't really know how long this took me, and I was trying to figure out what the best way to mine this out without a beacon would be. And what my conclusion is, well, actually, no, I don't really have a conclusion yet, but what I want to try is using moss blocks and bone meal because I have the sufficiency for diamond hoe. So let me go grab some bone meal. All right, I got a whole bunch of bones, so let's go ahead and we will grab ourselves some moss blocks. And let's go ahead and see if it is just faster in general to mine this out. Because if I place one moss block right there and go ahead and grab some bone meal, it's going to do that much. And then I can just go ahead and insta-mine this with the hoe. And this may be faster to go ahead and dig ourselves up a hole. So let's hop into a time lapse. Hopefully this time it won't corrupt, of trying to use some moss blocks. Okay, so mining out the moss section took about a half hour to do 2 layers rather than just over an hour to do 2 layers by the pickaxe. And what I have done is I've come through and broke out another 3 layers above, that way we can start only going down. And when I was mining up, literally all I was doing was just looking up and holding down my pickaxe until it stopped breaking, and I just did that for every single block. And then I just filled in all like the caves and stuff that we had. And then of course there is still a few caves just scattered around here, but we will be filling those in once we go probably about, I'm going to say maybe about another 8 layers down. This is still going to take me about another 2 hours to do. So let me just go ahead and get going on placing down this moss, clearing it out, placing it down again. I think you get the point. Okay, so I did not go down the full 8 layers, but I did go down at least 3, and then we got a decent sized room here that should be enough for us to put an iron farm inside of it. If I just do a little bit of a free cam right here, you can see that any caves beneath this or above this shouldn't really be a big issue. Of course, we do have these rooms where I will fill them in once we start to actually work on the iron farm itself. But the first thing that we are going to be needing is 12 villagers, and we are also going to be needing a pillager. Now, I don't know what the difference in an iron farm that there is between a zombie and a pillager, but the design that we are going to be using, which is by Mine the Fab, uses a pillager. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm probably going to have to wait until we get a set of pillagers wandering by. But I will say, for the 12 villagers, I have accidentally left the villager breeder on, and I almost completely forgot it was there. So let's just say, once again, we have a lot of villagers. So now we just got to play the waiting game and get ourselves a nice old villager hunt thing. I don't know what they're called, but yeah, let's just go ahead and wait for one. It was taking a little bit too long to actually get one of these things to like spawn in, so I decided why not just make a portal to a pillager outpost. Oh boy, we are right on top of it. All right, so we are going to need one of these guys to get hopefully in a boat, and then we will try to transfer the guy here rather than try to bring him all the way back, even though he's got a crossbow, and just the way that they move around, he's going to be a little bit of a pain. So let's get ourselves a boat, and then we will go ahead and try to get ourselves a guy. And it looks like this guy right here looks to be like he's a little bit farther away. See if you can get him in a boat here. Take this guy out. Let's get this guy put in a hole here. Oh boy, there's a lot more guys coming around here. Just take these guys out. Not that guy. You can just burn. There we go. All right, take you out as well. Now we should just be able to go ahead, put this guy right into here. We will go ahead and just plug it up. Place a torch, and now we just wait. I am a porcupine right now. Now we just have to wait for this guy's crossbow to break. Successfully been brought out of the boat here, or not really out of the boat. He has successfully broken his crossbow. That's what I meant to say. So the first thing that I want to do here is just, I don't know if it is nighttime out there. Let's just check. It actually is not. All right, this is perfect. Now we just kind of need to clear out an area so we can safely get him up to the top. I'm hoping he will still follow me, even though he does not technically have a weapon. Let's just see. Is he gonna follow me? Can't tell if he's following me. I don't think he is. He isn't following me, but he's got like this looks like he's holding a crossbow, but he's actually not. I don't know what that's about. All right, so we need to get this guy up here, and let's just open this up. That way we should be able to get him over onto these stairs. He'll come up here. We make sure he cannot go out, only go up these stairs. Can't go anywhere there. And then once he's up at the top here, oh, we have our first goat horn. Nice. I didn't even think about checking this chest before, but you know, there's some decent stuff in here. We got a crossbow. I'll take these tripwire hooks. I don't think I'm really going to need them, but this is all just stuff that we don't necessarily need. And of course, the other thing that we are going to need to make is going to be a way to get up to the portal up here. Oh, I fell. So if we just do something like this, and then bring this to right about here, we can then lead him up and right into the portal. Just remember, yeah, there's allays in these pods. We might have to come back on a later date to come get those guys. What I'm going to do is I'm thinking if we relog the world, that maybe this would fix our little issue that we're having with this guy just not wanting to really do much. So let me just really quickly relog. All right, so it turns out, yep, this guy no longer has like the position of him holding the crossbow anymore. So now first things first, we just have to take out these guys. So hopefully now he will also try to follow. Let's go ahead and see. Like the boat, does he want to follow me? No. Does not appear that he wants to follow. No, okay. Let's see. The best way for him to probably get up there is probably going to be for a mine rail. So let me go grab some tracks. All right, I got some rails, so let's just go ahead and place down a track that is going to be leading all the way down. I did not know there were no blocks there. Right, so we got it through the building. Now we just need to get this down to our little friend right down here. We just do something like this. Just kind of surround him, I guess you could say, in rails, so he will not move anywhere because his path binding will not be able to bring him across. We just give him a little nudge and then just put a minecart. Sir, I thought you were just gonna get in this minecart. You got it, there you go. All right, so now we can place that with a piece of coal and that will just send him right off. And I do want to pick up this iron or these rails because we don't actually have a lot and this stuff is expensive to make. Also, I don't even know if he made it all the way to the top. So that is definitely going to be something that we're going to have to find out once we get up there. I don't see him and we're on the final layer here. So I'm going to assume that he made it all the way up here. Oh yeah, he went right through. I think the minecart with furnace actually just went straight through. All right, so let's just go ahead and block this off so he cannot get out. We'll go ahead and break the minecart and he went straight through. All right, so now we just need to go in on this side and go ahead and get ourselves a pillager over to the overworld, which means we will need to have a whole nother path that is going to be leading us towards like the base. So we're gonna have to make another track. That's why I brought a whole bunch of rails. That way we can just start laying down a whole bunch of track. Now this guy is just sticking in the portal. So I think what we should do is just deactivate the portal. So he has no chance of going back through. And I think this guy can despawn. So let's just go ahead and put him in a boat. Only have to get him in a boat here. Let's see if I push him back a little bit and get a boat down. Put that right there. All right, he is now in the boat. Now let's just go back and go ahead and place down a whole bunch of rails. Place down all the rails, and I did also have to break a few to just kind of have enough track to make him through. So I had to place them, push them along, break them, place more. Yeah, I think you get the point there. But overall, this process was pretty simple. All right, here we go. We now have ourselves a villager, or not a villager, this is a pillager, back at our area. And this took a lot more rails. We now have crafted over 4 stacks of rails, but you know, it's still pretty nice because in the process, we did get ourselves a goat horn. So that is pretty cool. And I will say this is probably one of the best things that has been added to 1.19 besides these mud bricks. The goat horn is amazing. Susie, I'll just blow this horn right in your face. Now that we have this guy here though, we need to go ahead and transport him over towards the area and then just kind of put him in a wall. That way the other villagers don't see him and try to summon in any sort of golem. So I'm thinking let's just go ahead and try this, get this done right now and get a rail line set up to lead him all the way into the iron farm. Okay, we now have ourselves the pillager inside of the wall down here. So now all we need to do is get some villagers down here and then we can actually get going on building the mega iron farm. Well, we now have all of the villagers that we are going to be needing to finally build up this iron farm. I've already been working on this for about 3 days, so let's go ahead and let's just build this thing up. Okay, and the iron farm is now completed. I have AFK'd here for about an hour just to see the amount of iron that we are going to be getting in about an hour's time. This farm is ready to get about 1700 iron per hour, so let's go ahead and see how true that actually is. And yes, I did actually lock myself in here. That way no mods can actually come in here and get me. But before we do anything, I think I might want to go ahead and dump out the inventory and the ender chest because it's both a little crowded. Okay, cleared out the inventory, so now we must go into the nether and see what the rates are looking like. Oh dear, and the first thing that I hear when I come through here is just a whole bunch of dying iron golems. I did add in a little bit of a window right here so we can see what's going on in here. Go ahead and do a little bit of free cam and see that this farm looks to actually be working when we're not even there, because an iron golem did just come through. So it looks like that this farm is working pretty well. Now this is actually making me think, did we make this farm inside of the spawn chunks? I'm not sure if we did, but it is very possible that we did. And if you don't know, if we build something in the spawn chunks, that means that whatever we do here is going to be constantly loaded. I don't think this is, because I believe this is a little bit farther away, but to be honest, I don't really know where the spawn chunks actually, like where like the limits are on it, so we might have. But now let's go ahead and just see. Oh yeah, that is a good amount of iron right there. Now this doesn't look like it will be enough for what I have planned for it. Actually, you know what, it might be. Do I have, yeah, I do have a crafting table in here. Let's just go ahead and see if we craft this up into iron blocks. It's actually going to be 2 stacks and 22. Let me AFK for about maybe another, say 10 minutes. It's actually AFK here. What I'm just going to do is just pop right through this portal and just head on in, because it's just going to be a lot easier to get there just going through here, because you know I'm gonna be here, then I'll drop down. And also this thing is a cat making machine. We have one cat here and another cat over there with a zombie pigman in the boat as well. But as soon as I got the pillager inside of the little spot right here in the middle of the farm, what actually happened was 2 cats spawned instantly. So I put them in boats just in case we ever need cats, which we probably will if we want to make a creeper farm eventually, but we may not need it right now. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna AFK here for about another 15 minutes. All right, it has been 15 minutes, so let's just go ahead. I actually realize I have no blocks, so we're gonna use some iron blocks here to build out of really quick. All right, and if you look, yeah, we have more cats. You get that one, get that one, get that one. Oh, Siamese cat, that's interesting. You didn't know I have 2 Siamese cats. Let's just go ahead, build up 2 blocks, do that, do some parkour, break that block. All right, let's go through the portal. Oh geez, that's loud. Hi there. I'm just gonna come right through here. That is very loud, and yeah, make sure to turn that down on your guys' end, but that was loud. Let's go ahead and see, and this should be enough for us to finish off what we got going on here. Another 48 blocks, yep, that is good. I can almost not hear what I'm saying because of how loud these guys are. So let's just go ahead and start walking away. You know what, that's also, we're gonna take these poppies. I don't think I'm gonna be really using the poppies, but maybe nice, we may need them, maybe not. All right, but now what I want to do is try to get ourselves a beacon, because mining that out without a beacon was a pain, and it would be so much easier if we had ourselves a beacon, so we could just easily go ahead and get all of the insta mine that we need. That sounded very weird. But of course, before we do that, we actually need looting 3. So we're gonna need to get a villager, probably with looting 3. So do I have any extra lecterns? We do. Now, as for emeralds, we have 8. That is not amazing, but we should have some leftover sugarcane right here. Go ahead and turn that into paper. And I believe I also did mistakenly make some paper a while ago. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I don't remember doing that. We get some paper off of that. We got some books. This should be all we need. Of course, we will also need a minecart, so yoink one of those. And then that should be it. So now let's just go ahead and try to get ourselves a looting 3 villager. But first, we have some friends to deal with, because we are going to be starting to need to get some phantom membrane if we want to start getting some slow falling potions. Oh, I just realized the cat is going to be hissing these guys away. So let's go ahead. Let's come over here where they will start to come down onto us. Come on, I'm right here. I want you to attack me. These guys don't actually look like they want to do anything. Actually, never mind. This guy wants to hustle. I completely missed him. There we go. There's one. Get ourselves at least 1 phantom membrane. That's pretty much all we're going to need, because, yeah, we don't need a lot of snowflowing potions. Let's go ahead and head down here and get ourselves up going with another villager here. We'll go ahead and we'll put this guy, I guess, honestly, this is kind of the way that I want to be able to reach the villager. So let's put this guy, right here. Let's go ahead, grab a minecart. push him up in, and we actually didn't even, there we go. We got ourselves a nice old villager. Now we just need to try to get ourselves looting 3. So let me do this. I'll come back when I get it. All right, we got ourselves the looting 3 enchantment now. So let's just go ahead. We're gonna need a little bit more emeralds here. So if we just go with the 9, and then we can buy a bookshelf off of them. Of course, break that down into more books. That way, you know, we could just do this little bug and get even more emeralds out of it. And now this guy is locked in, but he is a little bit expensive. And we are also getting Depth Strider 2 from this villager, which means we could put Depth Strider 3 on the boots if we so desire. And it should be, if we dig in right here, this should bring us right to the villager, which is very cool. Now, if we just make it the line going here, we're actually missing 1 rail. We need 1 rail here, so let's just grab 1 here, put it there, and then that should be good enough for us to just bring him right over to be slain by the good old zombie boy. Go ahead and push him right on back. And then now that he is a zombie, actually I could turn up my volume again. And now that he is a zombie again, we can go ahead and take a splash potion of weakness and a golden apple and heal this guy back up to being a villager. All right, so it seems that this is now healed and we get ourselves some looting 3 books for 1 emerald. We'll go ahead and grab 2 of these so we can put 1 on each sword. However, before we do anything, I want to do a bow enchant, because if we're going to be fighting the Wither soon, we are going to need a decent bow for us to be using. Let's grab some string, and then let's also grab some sticks here so we can go ahead and craft ourselves up our very first bow. And now let's go ahead into the enchanting tower and see what we can get. Okay, so it is looking like it is going to be power 4 for the first one. Being that we are going to be fighting the Wither, power is going to be our best thing. We don't necessarily need infinity because we have the skeleton farm and we have stacks and stacks of arrows that we can use. So to be honest, we are just going to be going with this one, and it's just power 4. That's not amazing, but we could throw mending on this because, you know, we have so many arrows that we don't really need to have mending necessarily, or that we don't need to have infinity, and we could replace it with mending. So I think that's what we're going to do. This is going to be my first ever time that I am willingly putting mending on a bow. I will never do this in any other circumstance, but because we have so many arrows, we are putting mending on this. But we will also go ahead and put looting 3 on this sword, and then let's go ahead. Where is my enchant? I think I left it down there. But we can also go ahead and put some looting 3 on the other sword once we can get back to it. But now we need to go ahead and go fight some wither skeletons so we can get some skulls with our brand new looting 3 sword. So let's hop into the nether and head over to the nether fortress that we saw in the last episode. We are inside of the nether fortress now, so let's see if we can find ourselves some wither skeleton skulls so we can fight this wither. Now the easiest way to probably find these guys is to be going into the the bigger rooms. Oh, I actually just heard one. Let's see. It sounds like we have a whole bunch up here. There's one. Let's just get rid of him first. I'm assuming there's more. Yep, there's 2 more. There's 3 more actually. Oh, and there's our first skull right there. Nice. That was actually very easy. That was what? 4 wither skeletons right there? And we have our very first skull. So now we just gotta hope that it's going to be this smooth to get the other 2. Yeah, these rooms right here is what I was talking about. The ones that are like fully encased in nether brick. These should hopefully have the most amount of wither skeletons in it rather than blazes. But now, of course, we just gotta find them. And of course, oh, here we go. I'm hearing them now. Where are they at? I think they're in that little spot right in this, behind this wall maybe? Hello. Oh, hi. You're right there too. Kill the blaze. And of course, we do have smite 5, so we are going to be taking these guys out pretty quick. Unfortunately, we did not get the skull there. Let's just go until we get some skulls. There's number 2. There we go. Now we just need 1 more. Now let's just see how long it'll take to find this last one. What? Just heard another guy. Or? And nope. There it is! Number 3. We now have 3 wither skeleton skulls. So now we have to make our journey back to the base. If only I kind of knew where to get out of here. I guess this way. Where are we? Ah, there are the stairs. This way. Okay, now all we need is 4 soul sand. And now let's just go down into the mines and summon ourselves a wither. And just saying, I've had to go down to the mines about 3 times this episode, and every single time I do it, I go into the skeleton farm instead, because for some reason I think that going down there is going to bring me to the mine, and then I have to come back out and come down here. I'm very stupid. So I'm thinking we should probably do this on one of the longer paths instead of the shorter ones, just in case he starts coming towards this direction a little bit more. I just want to be safe, and this distance right here should be enough. Let's just go ahead and dig out a little bit of a room for this wither to be. And this is going to be my first time fighting the wither in hardcore, because season 1, you know, we died before able to actually get close to fighting the wither. So let's just go ahead, make sure we are fully eaten. Let's actually go ahead and eat golden apple as well. Now we've got that extra heart, and let's just do it. Summon the wither. Oh boy. There he is. Let's wait for him to charge up, and then here we go. Now we just simply have to shoot at him, get him to half health. And of course, this is hardcore, so this is the only reason why we're doing it like this. If this was just a survival world, we would be going out and actually like just fighting him out in the open. But you know, with the Smite 5 sword, we can destroy him pretty quick. And that is already the wither killed. That actually did not take long at all. I guess it got free iron, even though we don't need it. But yeah, there we go. We now have a nether star. Have this nether star, we can combine it with a little bit of obsidian and a little bit of glass as well, and we can make ourselves a good old beacon. And if you didn't know anything about beacons, we can get a permanent effect, and the best one is going to be haste, where if you combine that with efficiency 5, you can insta-mine stone. So like right now, if I go to break this piece of stone, there's a little bit of like a breaking time period. With a beacon with haste 2, that's nothing. I click, it's gone. It's just like we're in creative mode. So we will be putting this beacon to the test in the next episode. And I just want to show that we actually only killed 24 wither skeletons to get those 3 skulls, which means that we got a skull for every 8 wither skeletons killed, which is pretty good statistics if you ask me. But that is going to have to go ahead and end off this episode. I hope you enjoyed me building up this amazing iron farm that is going to be cranking out a whole bunch of iron. I hope you have an amazing day or night or whatever it is right now. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.